How's it going everybody, my name's Luke and welcome back to Star Wars Shovelware. Now as a company, Nintendo have always marketed themselves as the most family friendly of the big three, and so what better way to spend some quality time with your nearest and dearest than screaming at one another as you attempt to work towards a common goal. Now the Switch has a great selection of family friendly games on offer, including plenty of Nintendo's first party titles, but as always with these lists, I like to try and introduce people to some of the lesser known and more unusual titles that the Switch eShop has to offer. And so today my friends, we're taking a look at 10 family friendly co-op titles, plus 45 more, available to play right now on the Nintendo Switch. So kicking things off with one of my personal favourites, we have Unrailed, and this is a game in which you have to work cooperatively to keep a train chugging along for as long as possible by constructing its tracks on the fly. With procedurally generated worlds, each run presents its own unique challenges, with each of the game's 5 biomes introducing new and challenging mechanics for you to contend with. And in addition to mining and chopping down trees for materials, keeping your engines cool and putting out fires, you'll also have to navigate your way past walls, rivers and lava flows, and deal with the local population of animals and bandits. Unrailed is co-op chaos at its best though. It offers a decent level of challenge, and it also features 2-on-2 versus mode for a spot of competitive multiplayer. Trine 4 is our next title, and while the previous titles in the series featured 3-player co-op, in this 4th entry the game's unlimited mode ups that to 4, allowing players to simultaneously use any of the game's heroes. Featuring the classic side-scrolling puzzle platforming that the series is known for, Trine 4 once more sees Amadeus, Pontius and Zoya embarking on a mission to save the world from the Nightmare Prince's shadows, but in order to achieve this, the team must work together utilising their own unique powers and abilities to overcome obstacles and fight back nightmarish foes. From what I hear, it's also the biggest Trine game so far, and by some accounts the best, and it's a great option if you're looking for a solid co-op platformer and enjoy a bit of puzzle solving along the way. So for something a little less meta, you might consider checking out Heave Ho, a game in which players control the left and right arms of these highly customisable Geodude looking creatures and have to navigate the way to an end goal by swinging the way across platforms. While the entire game can be tackled solo, co-op mode is where it's at with this one, and it brings a whole new level of chaos to the game as players latch onto one another, creating chains of characters, and there's plenty of variety to the levels with a bunch of different platform types to contend with, as well as a few mini-games thrown into the mix for good measure. Heave Ho is definitely one of the most unconventional games in our list today, and all in all a uniquely different co-op title for you to tackle. Our next title, Very Valet, is a vibrant and chaotic party game in which you and up to 3 other players have to work together to park a variety of different vehicles in allotted parking spots. Of course, true to life though, there are never enough spots, and so you're going to have to get a little creative to cater for all your expectant customers and some of their more unconventional modes of transport. This one though looks hectic as hell, especially with 4 players terracing about the place and battling for parking spaces that they should be sharing. The game has 20 unique levels for you to play through, offering plenty of variety and several hours worth of hilarity for you to enjoy, and it's undoubtedly a great one to play with the kids. Up next then we have Out of Space Couch Edition, a game which started its life on the PC but was ported to Switch with the addition of 4-player cooperative mode. Undertaking the simple task of moving into a new house, a space house, your objective in Out of Space includes restoring the power to each room, clearing them of alien infestations, cooking, building furniture and taking care of the family doggo. As you play, you'll unlock new technologies, allowing you to automate some of the tasks as you expand and conquer new rooms. But unlike some other similar games, there's no actual progressional story mode for you to play through with this one, but each new game does feature a procedurally generated house, so no 2 playthroughs are ever the same. This one though looks to be a great blend of resource management, strategy and thinking on the fly as each new room opens up and you find out what you're up against, and it's undoubtedly one that will see many a blame thrown. So our next game, Tesla vs Lovecraft, is a frantic twin-stick shooter, in which the game's fantastical story pits H.P. Lovecraft's abominations against the technological might of Nikola Tesla. Now the game's simple formula sees you fending off increasingly larger waves of enemies using a variety of neon-infused weaponry, and on the surface it doesn't really look like it's exactly a new or original one. With the addition of perks and upgrade systems thrown into the mix for some accumulative progression, some interesting abilities, and an awesome little mech suit for you to hop in to make light work of those Lovecraftian beasties, Tesla vs Lovecraft does look to be a great addition to the genre, and it has that addictive arcade-like feel to it that just begs for one more run. Altogether it looks like a simple but fun one to blast away a few hours on, but don't be deceived by its appearance, as there's still a good amount of strategy hiding beneath the surface of this one. Stardust Galaxy Warrior Stellar Climax is definitely one for all you shmup fans out there who have been looking for a 4-player cooperative title from the genre, and the game sees you piloting one of 5 unique mechs as you take to the skies and take down enemies with a hail of bullets, missiles and melee attacks. Now each mech comes with its own unique special abilities as well as a selection of primary and secondary weapons, and throughout the game's 10-level campaign you'll get to upgrade your mech's stats, building them towards being a bullet sponge, a glass cannon or anywhere in between. There are also plenty of accessibility options available with this one, allowing you to really tailor the difficulty to your liking, and alongside the campaign there's also survival and boss modes for you to get stuck into, making for plenty of hours worth of content with this one. Now our next title, Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, is definitely one best played with 4 players, as your team of spacefaring astronauts must man the guns, operate the shields, and pilot the neon battleship through the dangerous realms of deep space. Now it's probably towards the more challenging end of our family friendly games, but there really is a lot to like with this one. It's got randomised level layouts, meaning that there's plenty of variety to gameplay, you're able to customise your ship with a bunch of different upgrades, and it has that easy to pick up, hard to master formula, meaning you can get to grips with the basics right away, but it won't just be a cakewalk either. There are several other games on the Switch whose gameplay operates under a similar format, but I feel out of all of them, this one keeps things the most simple, which is actually a plus when dealing with its fast-paced and frantic gameplay, and if you're looking for a co-op experience which offers something with a little more challenge, then Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime should suit you nicely. So up next we have something completely different, with Wild Guns Reloaded making our list, and this one is an arcade style gallery shooter which combines elements from the classic third-person shooters and light gun games of the 90s. Set in a world where the Wild West meets steampunk, Wild Guns Reloaded is actually a remastered version of the classic 1994 SNES game, which sees Annie the Gunslinger embarking on a mission for revenge alongside her bounty hunter friend Clint after her parents were killed. Introducing 2 new characters to the mix, allowing for 4-player co-op, Wild Guns Reloaded also features a bunch of additional features including new stages and game modes, as well as a complete overhaul of the original visuals and audio. Heavily influenced by the likes of Dynamite Duke and Blood Bros though, the game builds on the formula introduced by those classic arcade titles, and if you're a fan of retro shooting gallery style games, then I highly recommend checking this one out. Our final title today, Rogue Heroes Ruins of Tasos, is one that I played through myself and reviewed right here on the channel, and it's very much a roguelite Zelda-esque adventure game in which our heroes are tasked with saving the world from eternal darkness. Now, if you've ever played A Link to the Past on the SNES, you'll likely recognise many of its hallmark features in this game, from classic weapons such as the boomerang, bombs and the hookshot, to puzzle-filled dungeons and a large overworld map to explore. However, the roguelike elements in this one enhance that classic formula, adding a ton of different classes to choose from, each with their own stats and abilities, randomly generated dungeons, and an upgradable town allowing you to purchase new equipment, upgrade your weapons and level up your character. In my opinion though, Rogue Heroes is a great nod to the classics, and also in my opinion, it's definitely one of the best co-op games on the platform. So we've come to the end of our list of 10 family-friendly co-op games that I recommend checking out, but make sure to stay tuned as we've still got a quick-fire roundup of another 45 games which are all well worth a look at. Now, this is by no means an exhaustible list, as I've tried to single out games which specifically offer 4-player local co-op, and which I believe to be amongst the most family-friendly titles on the platform in terms of both the themes and gameplay difficulty. In the near future, I'll also be bringing you a list containing some of the more challenging and less PG titles that the Switch has to offer, but if you haven't already done so, make sure to check out my other lists linked down in the description box below. For now though, feel free to leave your own recommendations down in the comments section below. Don't forget to show your appreciation by giving that like button a bit of a tickle, and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all my latest content. With that said though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.